I used to be a liberal and quite frankly, a loser. You're probably thinking, hey, CV, your channel name is Conservative Vibes. You got a Trump right behind you. What the hell? Let me tell you about my experience on the other side and my journey into the light. I was living at home with my parents in my mid-20s, the typical millennial with mommy and daddy. I wasn't even living in my parents' basement. I lived on the same floor as my parents, in the room across the hall. I was not bringing any girls home. I was a parasite with no purpose. I had an art degree and I was a struggling artist / graphic designer. I'd gone through the fire academy, but I hadn't found any paid work as an EMT / firefighter. I was a bleeding heart liberal that wanted to draw pictures and save people's lives. If you don't believe me, here's my EMT certification and firefighter certification. Growing up, my parents were super liberal, and I never really questioned my own political beliefs until Trump ran against Hillary. At the time, I was doing tattoo sleeve videos, just drawing on my arm with a Sharpie marker. I thought it'd be funny to do a tattoo sleeve about Hillary Clinton, a never Trumper sleeve, and anyone but sleeve. So I started digging into things Trump had said to add to my design, and I found myself agreeing with him. It was odd. Trump was the enemy, the villain, the bad guy in my household. Anyone on the right was bad. So why were so many things conservatives were saying making perfect, logical sense to me? I started digging more. Hillary's emails, her corruption, the Clinton Foundation's corruption. I really started to see Trump in a new light. See, this wasn't a career politician, the carbon cut, Mitt Romney, Joe Biden type. These types of politicians are just background noise and easily ignored. Trump was someone calling out politicians on their BS and talking like a regular person. I voted Trump and I became a closeted conservative. Anyway, around that time, I met my girlfriend and future wife, who was conservative and came from a very vocally conservative family. Somehow I felt more at home with them than my own family. There were gay members of my family, but I felt like I would be in more trouble for coming out as conservative. I love my parents, but I see the divide, I see the division, and it's heartbreaking. My neighbor across the street openly supports Trump, and because of it, his liberal son won't even come by the house anymore. His son is so radically left, brainwashed, that he can't look past politics and sit down to dinner with his family anymore. My neighbor hasn't met his grandson in 2 years, and the left has been taught to distance themselves from anyone on the right. That's why I always appreciate liberals that are willing to comment on my videos without just leaving nasty insults. Many of these you don't see because they're censored by YouTube, but I make a point of unhiding them in my dashboard to see if there's any room for civil discourse. Spoiler alert, there almost never is. Speaking of YouTube, I remember one of the biggest videos that changed my mind was from Steven Crowder. Now, love him or hate him, his influence has been undeniable, and I know he's not really even on the YouTube platform anymore. His video where he infiltrated Antifa made me decide that the left wasn't just woke or strange, they could be downright criminal. The conservative twins were also a huge influence to me. Here were two black dudes saying they didn't want diversity, equity, and inclusion, something that would benefit them. I had to take notice. Anyways, after I got married, I got a master's degree in marketing and I scored a 6-figure salary job with Lumi Deodorant as a senior director. This was the first time I was actually making some decent money. Here's a video of me showing my wife how much I would be making with my new job.
There's another 0.
It's a 6-figure job.
How about I put a 5?
You're lying. Are you serious? That's what they offered you. A year?
A year.
Don't take it. It's a scam.
I was traveling around the country, putting ads in Times Square, managing several $1 million a month in advertising spend, and living the high life. My wife was able to stop working and stay at home, but there was a problem. Lumi was and still is super liberal. I can't tell you how many meetings I sat through where the Minnesota-born CEO would cry about George Floyd and how she wanted to do so much more to help. How I had to hear about how worried they were hiring a man into upper management, how it could be a danger to the lesbians who are already working there. The diversity hires who did nothing but fill the quota. Eventually, they were acquired by an even more liberal brand called Harry's, and that's when my time was up. You might have heard about the drama there, and Harry's pulling their advertising from conservative channels, but here's a quick video from Jeremy's Razors to catch you up.
Remember when there were 2 genders and only 1.5 of them had to shave their mustaches? Oh, hi, I'm Jeremy Boring, CEO and God King of the Daily Wire. Harry's Razors used to advertise on our shows. They're a great product, and we were happy to do it. That's before some peon who works for me went and said that boys are boys and girls are girls, and that was just too much for Harry's. They condemned our views held by millions of Americans and virtually every human who's walked the planet until about 15 minutes ago, as inexcusable. And they dropped their ads from our network because of what they called values misalignment. Stop giving your money to woke corporations who don't think you deserve their product. Give it to me instead.
Head over to IHateHarrys.com and pre-order your Founders Series razor and shaving cream set today.
So I parted ways with Lumi. The next few weeks were gut-wrenching, and I would literally wake up in cold sweats. I started a YouTube channel. I started my own advertising business, one that I could stand behind morally. Now, YouTube doesn't pay the bills. I still have a full-time job. But if I can help convince even one younger person to come to the light, to embrace being a conservative, well, then I consider it a job well done. Conservatives watching, were you always conservative, or was there a moment in time that made you make that switch? Comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Conservative Vibes. I'm CV, and I'll see you in the next video. If you'd like to support the channel and represent your conservative vibes, visit conservativevibes.com, where you can pick up yard signs, t-shirts, and bumper stickers all about anti-Kamala Harris and pro-Trump. Everything is made in the USA. Please allow 8 to 9 days for production before shipping. One of my favorites is this anti-woke American flag yard sign that says, "We believe all lives matter, to protect our borders. In God we trust. Men are men, women are women. Abortion is not birth control. Human rights are unalienable, and we judge character, not skin color." This sign and many more available at conservativevibes.com.